Hello, welcome back. In the last video, I detailed France's losses in the 7 Years' War. In this video, I'm going to discuss the American Revolution and the Haitian Revolution. So after the French ceded their settlements in North America in the Treaty of Paris of 1763, the British had realized they accumulated a massive debt from their efforts in the war. They sought to increase revenues by increasing taxes and cracking down on smuggled maritime goods such as rum, tobacco, and most notably tea. The colonists, not necessarily angered by the tax increases, but the fact that they had no representation in the British Parliament, felt that Britain could essentially raise their taxes and regulate their industry whenever they ran into a budget shortfall. This set off a hasty chain of events known as the American Revolution that ultimately led to the American War of Independence. On the French side of things, the loss of their territory was a bigger detriment to the Native Americans because this is where many of them were relocating to, and now the U.S. wanted to take that land for slavery. The French, after losing the 7 Years' War and nearly going bankrupt in the process, and helping the Americans in the War for Independence by performing the blockade on the British in the Chesapeake Bay, did go bankrupt. There were growing calls of mismanagement, inequality, corruption, and this ultimately led to the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars. A lesser-known revolution, however, was occurring in one of France's still-held western settlements, Haiti. The Haitian Revolution was an indirect result of the French Revolution because plantation owners there believed that independence from the crown and France altogether would give them greater profitability because they could do business with whomever they choose. Upon hearing of such, the slaves, realizing that life could become much more brutal for them, started to worry, and many started to demand that they get their independence as well, in addition to liberty and equality. Ultimately, because France needed to hold on to one of its top sugar producers, all efforts at liberation through legislation failed, and the colony of roughly 750,000 slaves revolted on the French, whom they outnumbered easily 20 to 1. The colony of Saint Dominique was no more, it was now the Empire of Haiti. The Haitian Revolution put to rest any thoughts of blacks being submissive and subservient. It was proof that blacks wanted not only freedom but to be in control of their own destiny. This was not this was, however, not without consequence, though all of the former French colonies lost in the 7 Years' War, Dominica, Tobago, Grenada, and St. Vincent. All were now under British control, who made it imperative to restrict any possible semblance of freedom or even humanity to prevent another uprising, including passing numerous laws in the newly created United States. In the next video, I'm going to detail the growth of plantation labor in the Deep South and how it inadvertently created the music industry. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.